Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Again, the week is almost over. I don't know where the time is going. It's like on hyper speed. Every time I turn around, it's another week. And it's fall already. I don't know, what's the first day of fall? 21st? 22nd? Well, anyway, it's around there somewhere. So today is going to be a lovely 76 degrees, and right now it's cloudy, so I'm assuming it's going to be intermittent clouds because I didn't see where there was any rain due, but we'll have to wait and see. So yesterday I finally did get out and do a little bit in the garden, and I'm formulating a plan of what I don't want to do next year. So there isn't a whole lot I want to add to the garden, but there are things that I want to take away from the garden. Because this year it was very nice, but at the end of the season now it has gotten to be a little bit much. So everything has grown like crazy. I had those crazy marigolds that were just so tall. I didn't buy the tall ones. I just wanted plain old little marigolds. But I don't know. They must have gotten in there somehow. There were like several plants that they must have been 3 or 4 feet tall. Now I know there's taller, I think they're African marigolds that get that big, but that's not what I bought. But that's what I got. So it's getting time to cut those back because it looks very unkempt back there right now. So it was beautiful at one time, but now it's past the beauty stage and it's just unkempt. So let's give the coffee a taste. Cheers. So I would like to make this a good day. Hopefully that's my plan. And the universe doesn't interfere and do shenanigans and make it not so good a day. But I'm keeping on track with my spending. Have to do it. And get my stuff done. So we'll see when that happens. It's in the works, but hasn't materialized yet. Speaking of materializing things, how many of you believe, leave me a comment below, in the law of abundance and materializing your dreams or your wishes and how you focus on that? If you believe that there's really something to that, leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. The law of attraction, that's what I was trying to think of. Do you believe in the law of attraction or do you not believe in it? So anyway, I would like to get out there today and do another little section of the garden. It's still a little too chilly out there. I mean, it's not cold, but you know, I'm going to wait for it to warm up a little bit. And the evenings have been getting cooler, which is fine. It's better for sleeping than if it's really hot. And I don't have to turn on my air conditioning. And I don't have to turn on my furnace yet either. I usually try and hold off till mid-October anyway to turn on the furnace because the nights do get chilly and you know, I have my dogs. Even if I have a nice heavy blanket, I don't want them to be cold either. So I live with other beings that I have to take into consideration. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy my coffee now and I will meet you at the budget book. Okay, well, I'm back on track with the budget book. Yesterday I didn't spend any money. Don't plan on spending any today, but we'll see. It's always an iffy situation because you never know what's going to be coming up. But I'm pretty happy with the month so far. It's pretty much been a no-spend month. I did a grocery shopping at the Red X Day, and that was for 6 weeks, and it was $168. And that's actually for the upcoming month. So hopefully I can stay on track with that. I want to see how long I can go doing this without spending a bunch of money on stuff that I really don't need. So I'm probably only going to be doing some food shopping here and there. At least that's the plan. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I have to have immediately for the house or myself. Now that doesn't include things like, vitamins and medications that, most of us have to have those to stay healthy. But for the next couple months anyway, I just want to concentrate only on buying the food that I need. And of course, a few treats here and there, like my potato chips. And I really do stretch those out. I try not to eat those all at once. But, so that's my plan, and I hope that that comes to fruition. And then I'll be able to get all my things done for the house. So when I bought this house, I was very well able to afford it. But it's getting more and more difficult. And even back 3 years ago, I wasn't struggling to pay my bills. Things were okay. I wasn't setting the world on fire or saving tons of money, but, I did okay. But it's getting harder and harder, and, I think we need to talk about that. Some people just, oh, no, you can't talk about anything. So, whatever. There's certain things that we just need to discuss as a nation and not hide our heads in the sand and pretend things are just okie dokie, because they're not. So I know some people might get upset at that, but everything's okie dokie with me personally. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay, and I hope you are too. But you have to make adjustments. That's all you can do. And there's no point to getting all bummed out about it, because it's going to do what it's going to do. So, but I do think we have the power to change some things. And we can change what we can. That's why the Serenity Prayer is my favorite, because it rings true. So anyway, we're nearing the end of the month, and I'm going to have to total up my bills and my income, and then plan a trip to Costco next week. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday. I certainly don't want to go on the weekend, and because weekends at Costco are just absolutely crazy. So I'm hoping that maybe Tuesday or Wednesday would be the best day. It depends on how much dog food I have left. And I think I have enough to get to that. I don't want to totally run out because, well, you got to make sure your dogs are fed. So anyway, that's my little budget spiel this morning. Just plugging away at paying my bills, paying down my debt, to get to my ultimate goal of trying to be debt-free. and maybe saving a little bit on the side. Now, I'm not going to set the world on fire anymore. That ship sailed unless I came across some really great financial advice. But I don't see that coming up anytime soon. But you're never too old to learn, you know, a little bit of financial wisdom. I have read books in the past, and I even tried my hand at a little bit of investing. But the one time where I did, it was like an online thing, and I bought this stock, and the stock was doing okay, and then it went way down, and I panicked, and I sold it. So I didn't lose a ton of money, but I didn't make anything either. So that kind of gave me a little bit cold feet, and I probably should have kept going, but I didn't. So anyway, that is my journey into investing on my own. All right, well, I will be back in a little bit, and we'll see what's going on today. All right, I'm out here in my garden this morning, and I have some very, very tall cannas here. And I'm just looking around and trying to figure out what I'm not going to do next year. So one thing I'm not going to plant next year are the cannas. I'm not going to plant elephant ears. I'm going to move this big, huge thing of oregano. I need to cut that back. I'll dry some of it, but it's just way too much. And I want to take it out of this planter because it took over the whole planter this year. It's never been this big. So anyway, everything is starting to dry up. I kind of quit watering it now. I will plant zinnias again, and I will plant marigolds, but I'm not planning on planting any impatiens this next year either, because the end of August, the beginning of September, they start looking really ugly. So the garden right now is looking pretty ugly. So this is the area that I want to clean up right now. I still have some tomatoes growing over there. I'll harvest those. My zucchini is shot. Marigolds are still looking good, so I'll leave those in for a while yet until the frost kills them. And then here I pulled out all my spent lettuce, but I have a whole lot of new baby lettuces coming up, so I may be able to get some harvest out of those. That's a weed. So, that's the plan anyway for here. Now this is an apple tree, not this. This is something else. But I bought this Honeycrisp apple tree, and it's really not doing much of anything. There is a little bit of growth coming down here, but I think it's grafted here. And there's really nothing happening up the stalk at all. So I don't know what that's going to do. I'll leave it in, and we'll see what the spring brings. I don't have any more peppers on there. I have a lot of green onions, huge green onions that I need to harvest. And then these humongous marigolds. But I'm going to work on that section a different day. Today I'm just going to concentrate on this section and pulling out the zucchini and some of the other things. So next year I'm going to cut way back on the gardening, the things I plant. This year I enjoyed the garden this year, and I got quite a bit of yield out of it, at least for me. But next year I want to do things a little differently and make it a little easier for me to continue to garden. So okay, that's what it looks like, and it looks pretty bad. So I will do a little workout here, and we'll see how far I get. Alright, well, I cut out most of this parsley, but some of it is still really nice. And if there's a mild winter, parsley can even come back. I've had that happen before. Not that it's a, I think parsley might be a biannual, but don't quote me on that. So, I'm going to get all this cleaned up. Sounds like my neighbors are having some work done. Actually, my handyman guy, hopefully my handyman guy, told me his sister lives back that way, right behind me, and he said he's going to be doing some work at her house this week, so that might be him. So I'm making slow but sure progress here. I'm pulling out all these spent flowers. They're just not nice anymore. I'm going to leave the tomato because it still has tomatoes on it. But the rest of this can all come out. Lots of weeds in here. So I'm just going to carry on here and finish doing some things. And carry on. I think something's running around back there. Now my zucchini here, that's pretty much spent. It's got powdery mildew. So I'm going to pull that out. Hopefully. Some of this stuff is so big I have to cut it apart to get it out. It's still, you know, working on some blossoms, but there won't be time for them to mature because we're so close to October. So I'm just going to take all that out. The flowers I'll leave as long as they're nice. That's a lot of zucchini. That plant did really well this year. I didn't have a bumper crop of zucchini, but it's okay. I had enough. Yeah, so this is all full of powdery mildew. I think I'm going to need a shovel to get the rest of it out. But the flowers are still really nice. So I'll leave those for a while. I'll just deadhead them and call it good. They're probably not going to form too many more new blossoms either. But that's all right. We're coming towards the end. So, okay, I'm going to finish up here, and I'll show you how much I got done when I'm right. Finished. I got this cleaned up. There's still a little celery in there. I want to dry that. I got this cleaned up pretty much. I need to hose it off yet. And this is some garbage. I got a whole big thing full of dead flowers. So I still didn't do the oregano. I'll do that tomorrow. But I got the flowers out of here. I got this cleaned up. I'm still going to try and plant these black-eyed Susans in the front. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. I staked up this tomato a little bit. It's almost shot. Once these tomatoes are all red, I'm going to pull that. No sense in waiting for more of them to green up. Next year, I planted 2 zucchini in each of these boxes. That was too much. So next year, I'm going to plant 1 zucchini in each of these boxes and call that good. And put some flowers in too. And here I have some radishes coming up. They're volunteers. So over here, these are just flowers now. These were yellow squash, and I'm just going to leave them because they're pretty fall colors. And I still have eggplant here. I planted 2 or 3 of them in here, 3, and that was too much. So there's one little tiny eggplant on here, and I'm going to let this go. Well, it's not looking too good. But anyway, next year I'm only going to plant 1 eggplant. That's plenty, because I like eggplant, but it's not like my favorite thing. So here I actually have some little lettuces coming up here too. I'm going to let those go. I already showed you these lettuces coming up. And we still have like 3 weeks, so I may get some lettuce. And that's as far as I got. And now the old back is going, oh, that's enough. So I did make quite a bit of progress. It's looking much better. Took out all the dead leaves and everything. So I'll finish this up tomorrow. And then I'll get to work over here. I'll start here and then get into the garden. So okay, that's it for me today with the garden. Okay, I'm very happy I got all that done. And now I need to stretch out my back. So, geez, when I think about it, I used to go all day long, and it wasn't a problem. Can't do it anymore. So, when things like this come up, it makes me realize that in order to continue to do what I like to do, I have to do it on a scaled back way, which is fine, you know. There's a lot of people worse off than me that can't garden anymore, but I really admire people that they even garden in a wheelchair. You know, they have wheelchair accessible raised gardens. So, and when I worked in the nursing facility, they did have a raised garden bed available for the residents, for those people that did like to garden. So I think that's a good thing. I think a lot of those institutions need to make things available to people that still enjoy their activities and, you know, help them out. So I know when I was younger, I used to go and go and go. And that wasn't that long ago, you know, like within the last 5 years. I still did a lot. I've always been a very independent person and pretty much relied on myself. Not that I never got any help, I did. But for the most part, I relied on myself because it was my projects. It's stuff I wanted to get done. And I didn't want to drag other people into my honey-do list. So, but my honey-do list now is getting shorter, except for the repairs, but that's something I don't have control over. But things that I initiate myself, that's getting shorter. I still do the things that I like to do, but on a smaller scale. And it's okay. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. So if that means scaling back on things, maybe if it's gardening is your thing, you know, maybe do a little bit of indoor gardening, or maybe house plants will make you happy. You don't have to grow just food. A little tiny balcony garden. It doesn't have to be as extensive as mine, where, you know, I have, 10 little raised garden beds. So, but I've had those for a long time, at least most of them. I did add to it, about 2 or 3 years ago. I added 4 more. But they're nice to garden in because they're raised up. So I was trying to get away from, the lower gardening where you either garden in the ground or, anyway. So that was my adventure in the garden today, and I'm glad I got done what I got done. And now I have to listen to my body, and it's time to rest the back. Otherwise, if I push myself too much, then I'm pretty well not good for at least a couple days. So, well, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Good to yourself, be good to others, keep doing what you love, and don't let other people rain on your parade. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.